Coaching has basically been my life. It's an emotional profession. It's what I do all the time. It's on my mind all the time. I take it to bed with me, I wake up with it. So it kind of becomes who you are. I like the definition that's been attached to me. Sports was kind of the central part of my life growing up with my family. You know, I don't think I've completely grown up yet, but back then I remember thinking, you know, my dream would be to be a high school basketball coach, but I almost felt like that dream was too big. I just don't know who would hire me as a high school I don't know how you got there. So I had applied to law school and was accepted to law school at West Virginia University and had my books, getting ready to go to class in late August. And Cameron High School, which is a very small school in rural West Virginia, called me and said, we know who you are and we think you might fit the position of math teacher and basketball coach here at this high school. Obviously, the competition wasn't too stiff for that job, or they wouldn't have been calling me. The plan was to coach for a couple years and go back to law school. At this point in time, I don't think I'm going back. There was a reason why no one was applying for the job, and there's a reason why I got the job. It was a tough place to win basketball games, but you know, I loved it. I loved my 10 years at Cameron coaching basketball there, and you know, we won some games and we lost some games, but I was excited to coach basketball. I liked it. You know, I had actually reapplied to law school after 3 years and was accepted again, and said, no, I think I want to try to be a basketball coach. I'd sent some of my players at Cameron to basketball camps, and I didn't like what I saw. I thought, I can run a better camp. So I rented West Liberty's college facility in the summer, and I started my own basketball camps called Top 100 Basketball Camps, and kind of got familiar with the university there, and I thought, this is something I'd like to do, kind of a pipe dream to be a college basketball coach. And it was just an environment that I liked, and when the chance came to maybe apply for a teaching job and assistant basketball and the men's tennis coach and the women's tennis coach, which I ended up getting all those jobs. And I went to West Liberty. I had that enthusiasm. I taught my 9 o'clock tennis class. My next class was at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I had tennis practice after that. And I was kind of wondering, what do you do between 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock? And I went and asked the head of the department, what am I supposed to do for the next 4 hours? And he said, we don't care what you do. Do whatever you want to do. And I thought, I like this job. I was at the college a long time before I got the chance to coach the basketball team. I was there for close to 15 years as a tennis coach. The women's tennis team, went to national, we had 100 consecutive wins in women's tennis when I was at West Liberty. Everybody in the world was saying, why did you hire the tennis coach? Now all of a sudden, I'm a basketball coach. I think it was 1955 was the last time they had a 20-win season. And I thought, we'll go outside the box, we'll be aggressive, and you know, you talk about everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. For us, it was like everything that could have gone right went right. And next thing you knew, we took a team that was supposed to finish last, and we won 21 games, and we were in the conference tournament championship game that year.
I wanted to go there really bad. You know, I had verbally told him that I wanted to be there. I had went on a recruiting visit there, and that's what I had in mind. I got a call from Jordan Fee saying what NSU was. He was the assistant coach here at the time, and 2 days later, Coach Crutchfield was announced the head coach at Nova Southeastern. So quickly, I realized Coach wasn't going to be at West Liberty anymore, and fortunately enough, he called me and said, I want you to come to Nova Southeastern, and that's how it all worked out. He's one of the best coaches ever to coach college basketball. So a little bit nerve-wracking, right? That first conversation, you're talking to the all-time winningest coach in NCAA basketball history. But you get to meet him and you realize he's a normal guy, he's a great guy. Our relationship has turned, into a friendship. He made me a really good player, a better player than I could have probably been anywhere else.
You know, Nick is obviously a special case because he's a special person. He went from being a freshman here as a player to a leader as a senior as a player, and made a quick transition to being a grad assistant and then to being a full-fledged assistant coach. And he is actually still coaching guys he played with. And sometimes that can be difficult.
Yeah, so my position was the point guard. You know, people say that a point guard is an extension of the coach. You know, it's just a kind of a coach on the floor. So it was a smooth transition in that aspect, but you know, a lot of challenges because I played with those guys for 2-3 years. So I had to navigate the whole friend coach thing.
Nick is done that naturally. He's the same guy, he's just in a different role. It's a team effort with the coaching staff, but he does a great job so I can do my job, basically. Mike had a unique ability to develop players, and that's kind of his skill set. So when Devin Hearn got the job at Bluefield State and the player development position opened up, I just needed Mike Chalas because he was a good guy for the job.
It was kind of one of those where, you know, Crutch, I had already been around the guys because I had stayed around basketball training, kind of an individual player development. So for him, it was just like, yeah, this guy's just gonna just hop on and continue the ride. But it was Coach Fee who kind of vouched for me to kind of come into this role.
He's good at what he does. You know, he's a great human being. You know, again, I need people who have a great sense of right and wrong. And Mike Chalas is another great example of a guy who's just, his moral compass is a really strong one.
To say that was probably one of the better decisions that I've made in my life. I've only been part of 3 losses. Sometimes when you're in small college basketball, when you're in Division II, people perceive that, oh, it's not the same as Division I, and that's not true. He is the winningest coach in all NCAA Division I, II, or III. In the likings of Eric Spoelstra, Brad Stevens, D1 coaches, Coach K, Jim Laronega, asking him and, you know, seeking him out for his knowledge. So his reputation was there, and I believed when he was here, it just became more.
You know, people kind of have the wrong idea of why I came here. The success at West Liberty was beyond, I thought I would do well, and I thought the team would do well at West Liberty, but I never saw the level of success that we had. We became the winningest team in the country during that 13 years at any level, but I kind of wanted to say, let me see if I can do it again. So all of a sudden, I was at Southeastern University.
There's a certain level of mentality that the players need to have to be able to play in the system, you know. Skilled, yes, we need skilled players, but more than anything else is, can you, for 40 minutes, put your mind and your body into almost like a physical, exhausting kind of way to play that you've never done in your entire career.
I get, you know, 10, 15 emails a month from coaches, you know, high school coaches, college coaches saying, you guys got to teach us what you're doing. Like, how are you guys having this much success? Can we come watch you? And we're always willing to help guys, but coaches say they want to do it, and then they try to do it, but they realize how much effort it takes, and they get burned for a couple layups, and they're like, you know, it's different from everything else, right? But if you stick with it, I think it's the best system.
I don't think they have a full grasp of what it takes to play this way. They all think this is their style of play.
Yeah, no, we've done it before. We've pressed before. No, no. 40 minutes of pressing is very different from sporadically pressing on dead balls, sporadically pressing maybe a quarter or 2 minutes in a half, right? Than doing it for 40 minutes straight, every single game.
Then it starts to kick in, okay, this is not going to be as easy as I thought. If it was easy, everybody would be playing this way.
Other coaches that try to instill that, they try to teach X's and O's, but it's more about the mentality of you just got to play hard and sprint.
Coach is always talking about your reaction time. 15 feet is half a second. When I first got here, who's getting 15 feet in half a second?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Like I'm the Flash, but
it does.
It's possible.
It does make sense.
And we recorded it, did it, everything, and those guys realized like I can run 15 feet in a half second, 30 feet in 15 seconds. The game is all mental. Like everyone has said that, but the way that we play is literally 90% mental. You just got to keep going. Don't think, just keep going.
Everything we do within that press is as hard as you could play basketball. If you're in the press and you don't do it 100% every time, you're gonna get torched.
The way we play takes a toll on your body, 100%.
You don't realize how taxing it can be. So we always ask guys, you got to be sure that you want to do this and you can do this. And you know, there's days where you wake up and your body aches, but at the end of the day, we're in and out of the gym. You know, we play a game to 120, 140 points. You're not just standing around running plays and doing cone drills. So we look forward to going to practice.
When we tell them other teams are not practicing this way, other teams are not playing this way, you end up doing what we're doing, and teams end up just kind of saying, I can't compete with this team.
We do think that this style of basketball is the right one. Like I said, he's kind of changing the game.
There's no doubt in my mind that basketball takes a trend towards the way that we play basketball here at Nova, because it's very exciting and we win games.
My record after 3 seasons a year, 4 years, is 99-4. So it's kind of, I can see the game of basketball kind of moving in that direction. It's fun to play, it's fun to watch, but it is hard to coach and hard to do. That's why not many people do it.
It's a system that allows you to make decisions more than any other team in the country.
He never wants to tell somebody, don't do that. But if you're out there just not giving effort, that's what he gets most frustrated about. And I think that's the reason why we win games.
If you're not playing hard enough, you're just not going to touch the court. We come here to play basketball.
And you want to prove it to Coach Crutch that he recruited you for a reason.
You know, I try to recruit guys that kind of have that instilled in them. You never know till they're here for a while, but everything we do in practice here, there's a winner and a loser. You know, occasionally we'll have a transition drill competition, and the winning team, I'll say, go sit in the bleachers, and the losing team, before you can get a drink of water, go fill a cup of water up and go give it to the winner. Then you can get yourself one after that. And you'd be surprised how hard a guy will try not to give someone else a cup of water.
Or a massage. Or a massage on the back.
Shoulder rub.
Yeah.
It's degrading.
It's bad.
It's degrading.
You don't want to lose those games.
But it makes it fun, it makes it competitive, and it also develops that we're here to try to win. That's the fun part of the game.
I think one of the things that I can say is just he's the ultimate competitor, and he almost infuses that to anyone he's around.
You know, whatever my natural demeanor is, when you win a basketball game, it elevates a little bit. You feel better than you feel good about winning. But I don't feel that much better. When I win and I'm here, I go to here. But when I lose, I go to way over here somewhere. And it's a bad way to be, because I wish I could enjoy winning as much as I have the despair I have when I lose. I wish it was equal, but it's not even close. It's like, it's almost, I feel like I have to win because I don't want to have to go through losing. So it makes you think, oh, I'm in the wrong profession then. But I think it actually probably motivates you to win a little bit.
Pickleball is one of the things that we do outside.
If we're not on the basketball court, or if we're not in the office, we're probably on the pickleball court. That's his favorite thing to do. So be on call when Coach Crutchfield wants to play pickleball or tennis.
Yeah, that was part of the job description, I think.
I've heard they go at it over there. I've won one time and he beat me.
I gotta play. I haven't played him yet.
Competitive.
I have to play him.
And
I
he's
have to
nice
play him.
at it. He's nice.
I just can't
nice.
see it.
He's here, dude.
Yeah.
I know they still go, but I know him, Coach Fee, and Nick and Chalas would all go last year, and they would have some battles. So
He gets after it. He comes in here and has some choice words for Nick and Mike and whoever else wants to play him.
I'm not a pickleball player, never was a tennis player, never even played ping pong. So at first when I was out there, you can call me the bottom pit. But I was just like, oh, it's gonna be for fun. We're gonna go out there. They were like, all right, let's go. This was Coach Fee, Coach Smith. And all of a sudden, Crutch starts getting into competitive mode, start playing. It's funny because I wasn't to his dosage of competitiveness, but then and there I realized anywhere he is, anywhere he's at, he wants to compete.
Yeah, well, that's because I tell him it is. And I can still order him around out in the pickleball court too, yeah.
But that's just something that's in the nature. Not everyone is like that, right? Not everyone would be even taking a pickleball game to that extent where it's like, let's compete. It's just the mindset, right? That season, the 36-0 season, was kind of surreal because every game you kind of thought, okay, when is the game that's going to be that one loss?
I had told the guys in the locker room prior to the season, I thought we're going to have a good team, and expectations, I don't know. I said, but I know no one goes undefeated. I told them that the year before, and we went 33-1, and we lost our last game, and then I told the guys, that can't happen again. You lose games in basketball, no one goes undefeated. Then all of a sudden we're winning every game again.
We had RJ Sunahara, Player of the Year. We had Will Yoakum coming back from basically what they discarded him at West Liberty, that he was injured, and a whole thing with him. We had Jonathan Pierre, coming into his sophomore year, grew like 3 inches. Kobe Rogers. We had Dallas Graziani, a Broward County native. We had Jake Moranville. We had, all the guys.
we would be down like 10 points sometimes, and I'd be like, all right, let's just go win this game already. Those were the type of players we had. It's like, I just don't see how we can lose this game right now. I felt like that all season.
I couldn't say that they weren't going to lose, but I felt that it was going to be very hard for them to lose.
3 times we've been to Evansville, Indiana for the Elite Eight for the national tournament. And the first 2 times we kind of laid an egg and we lost in the Elite Eight both times.
There was a lot of weight on our shoulders for that Elite Eight game specifically.
And we finally pushed past and won that first game, and we felt like, all right, now this could be it. And just so happened that Coach's former school was in the same tournament. Before we even went to the national tournament, we talked about, could you imagine playing West Liberty in the national championship?
We can actually face this team in the championship. This would be a crazy story.
And we're watching West Liberty win at the same time that we win, and then we're getting 1 game closer to that.
We played San Bernardino, which I thought was maybe the most talented team in the country. It was a tough draw for us, even though we were the 1 seed.
They had a solid team, all athletes, shooters. They'll run with us the whole time.
Yeah.
They might have been the most skilled team in Evansville that year.
In transition. Are you kidding me? That's Pierre.
It was a battle. That game was definitely the toughest one, I think.
Back to a
changed out the game, beat them by 10 points or something, but it was a very difficult game.
I knew if we were going to win that game, we were going to win it all.
I remember we all went to eat after that game, and everybody was kind of just looking at each other like, we have a great chance to do this.
This is the time, this is the year.
Kind of just had a mentality that we are the best team in the country. We're ranked 1, we haven't lost a game, and we don't really plan on doing that.
And then I turn around, and in the finals, we're playing West Liberty, where I'd spent 28 years coaching tennis and basketball. I knew everybody in the stands. I knew the coaches. The head coach, Ben Hallett, had played for me, was my assistant coach for 7 or 8 years. And the assistant coach, Aaron Huffman, had been my assistant coach and almost a lifetime friend. And that's who I'm playing against.
And now the starting lineup for Nova Southeastern. At forward, a 6'8" junior from Bay Village, Ohio. Number 13, R.J. Sudahara. Number 0, Jonathan Pierre. Number 10, Kobe Rogers. Number 12, Dallas Graziani. Number 20, Will Yoko.
It felt like I was in a dream.
I mean, you have a chance to win a championship, and it's versus your former school.
As if there's not enough pressure in the national championship game to win anyway. You know, I'm playing against the team that I coached.
The emotion of that game was crazy. There's a lot of history between Coach and the school, and it was difficult because Coach is so loved up there in West Virginia. So you got guys coming down rooting against Coach that have bled West Liberty colors their whole life.
I was playing against my friends.
When you're writing a story, you would want it to write it like that. You're going to play versus your former school.
I hadn't really thought about it much till we got on the court, and even then it's like, we got to win the game.
Being able to talk to him, it wasn't, man, how does this feel? It's just like, we got to do this.
We didn't talk about, oh, this Jesus is West Liberty, and it was just never brought up. But it was there.
Now we compete.
Both these teams average at least 100 a game. Sudahara. Full court press, both teams. This is a 6'9" player handling here. That's Pierre to the bucket. Yes! With the left hand. How about that one? They script it. After about 2 to 3 minutes, they come in every single game. Graziani delivers.
It was a good game. They played the exact same style we did because they hadn't changed anything since I left. Their set plays were the same as our set plays. The way they picked up full court, everything was exactly the same. So it's kind of like an open gym playing against ourselves here.
We got to make sure we're the ones running more, we're the ones pushing it more, we're the ones in transition more. Like it's game mode. It's competitive.
Graziani races up the floor. Yoko from the corner. Got the three. Got that shoot. 51% from there. He can do it. This is Hunter. Will showing us some hops. Graziani. It's open low. Montague. And here we go. Off to the races. 5 against 4 on the inbounds. And here we go. Graziani lob. Sudahara. What a show this is.
It was like the highest scoring championship game ever.
There was never a doubt that we were both going to score 100 points in that game, I don't think, the way we both play.
Sudahara has the rebound. Graziani, yes! My goodness! Dallas Graziani, 17 points.
Tensions got pretty high. There was a couple cheap shots taken at Will Yoko.
The foul did go to Sarson, and Sarson.
Oh, we got a possible flagrant here.
Is on the free throw. Looked like he got right into Yoakum. Sarson has been ejected.
Oh my gosh, you know, when we were in the game, you could just feel the tension, the emotion, the excitement, the anxiousness. There was a lot.
Like a flagrant. Graziani shots blocked. Butler got it. Vasil gets through, lays it up and in. 8-point game. But West Liberty is running out of time. Graziani got the three. That is the best possession of the day. The Sharks are running right now. This championship is over. Nova Southeastern, national champions. 36-0, the perfect season and the perfect finish.
That was life-changing. I'm going to remember that for the rest of my life. Running out on the court, hugging Dow, hugging JP, hugging Kobe, especially RJ he's the biggest team guy I know, so just celebrating with the guys that I love that year and doing something crazy was just unreal, and I'm never going to forget it.
Yeah, Mike! It was a long season, but when you get to that game, it feels like the season went by so quick, and it's like, damn, I really I love these guys that I hooped with. I loved everything that we went through, all the talks that we had in the locker room, encouraging each other when people are down. It's like all that comes back full circle just for this one game to win it all. And it's like all you can do is just be proud.
It's that whole program that just won. It wasn't just like us, everybody won, which was a very cool thing.
I'm not gonna have words for it for like 20 more years. It was a really special group of people.
It's surreal.
I hear that word surreal sometimes. That really was surreal. There's days now I think, did that actually happen? Did we really play West Liberty in the national championship game and went undefeated and won the title? It hasn't stopped for a year.
It's hard to explain. 0, 36-0, like no losses it's just crazy. It's unbelievable, literally, yeah, it's unbelievable, so.
To see it pay off, you know, on the sideline was an incredible feeling.
It was amazing to be part of.
You know, what a crazy couple days in Evansville.
I still spend a lot of my summer in Wheeling, West Virginia, which is basically the base for West Liberty University. And I see all those fans. Every person in Wheeling, West Virginia watched that game. I can't go anywhere now that people don't say, we saw the game, we watched the game. It's nice, some of them are saying, hey, don't tell me, baby, I was rooting for you. I kind of like that. But it made me think when I was there this past summer, I thought, boy, I'm glad I won that game. It is kind of a storybook ending to a season and what probably should be to a career, but it wasn't.
We only had 2 players that played in the tournament, right, in the Elite 8 tournament that came back for us, which was Shane Hunter and Ryan Davis.
We have 6 returners and 10 new guys, and out of the 6 returners, they only scored 9 points in the Evansville, like the Elite 8, the Final Four national championship the year before. So we really had no one that's proved anything.
I think it was my most minutes I played all year as a freshman. I think I was like 25 minutes.
The hustle out here is something to behold. How about Davis's defense? This is Hunter.
Hey, I think I got a minute. I think I got a minute and a block. 2 minutes. They're sick. They were, I mean.
Tell me about them 2 minutes.
What are they?
Boy probably denied and got out.
Yeah. I was RJ's water break. Like if I'd go in there, fully embrace, go in, try to battle for a minute or two. And the second he was good to go, he's back in, I'm out. I had no problem with it.
Think about that, you know. Those were the only 2 guys that had minutes in the tournament.
We lost our whole team to big NIL money deals, and in that first practice, the kind of mindset was not, can we defend this? It was a bunch of new guys. We returned 0 starters. So it was kind of like, you know, people are going to count us out.
For us, we knew that we needed to implement who we are from the beginning. It wasn't going to be, as previous years, that the new guys were going to learn from the guys, the vets, and just kind of get the flow into things.
For 10 new guys to come in, they kind of need to learn the ropes, to learn what we do here, because it's not regular basketball. It's not like the half-court game. It's full on, full go, and everyone needs to buy in, or else we're not going to be able to go back to the national championship.
We all looked at each other and we were like, well, we're not going to have an undefeated season. We're not going to do that again. That's not going to happen. We just got to make sure that we can compete.
Obviously, our players were really good last year, and they developed really well in our system, but we wanted to show that not only were they good, but our system is good as well. And no better way to prove that than to bring 9 new guys in and have the success we're having this year.
You know, I do think about retiring. You hit a certain age, everybody thinks about it. I don't think I'd retire very well. What do I do today? Do I watch Oprah Winfrey show in the middle of the afternoon, Dr. Phil? I don't want to be there. I don't want to be the guy that coaches too long. So if you young guys can keep an eye on me when it happens, say, hey, you're done. Old guy, you're done. Let me know. I think I got a pretty good handle on that I can say, yeah, you know something, it's probably time to hang it up. Then I got to figure out, what am I going to do then? How much pickleball can you play? I don't know. Yeah.
I think he's definitely thought about it, but I think at the same time, he loves winning games. And if he's still winning games, he's still going to be coaching. I don't see the day where he starts losing games, to be honest with you. So I don't know how long he's going to keep going. I don't know what's going to stop him, but no, his legacy is going to be great. And I'm glad I'm a part of it for 4 or 5 years. So
I still remember walking onto the floor in the celebration last year at the national championship game. And the young lady with the microphone, she asked,
when you think of all the sacrifices that these young men have gone through.
The sacrifices guys made, nah, they love it.
I thought, well, what sacrifices is she talking about? We've been playing basketball. You know, I'm sure the guys think they could have been out a few more Thursday or Friday nights, though. They've probably hit a few of those too. I'm sure they think they might have had more girlfriends, but they've probably had their share of girlfriends too. I would like to have spent some more time with maybe some family here and there, but I'm not sure they want me to spend that much more time. We love each other. If you would see my wife at the basketball game, she's like in the fetal position up in the stands. She can barely stand to watch the game. She's so nervous. So, you know, it affects her emotionally because she's not only worried about winning and losing, she's worried about how it affects me. And I'm married way above my grade. She's such a good person. She says, I want you to do what makes you happy. I'm like, I married the right girl then. We're both hillbillies from Clarksburg, West Virginia. She was a cheerleader at the rival high school that I played basketball at, you know, and we were both lifeguards at the same swimming pool. I'm just glad she's not here to start telling some of the stories. She would tell a lot of stories that I wouldn't want out there. You know, I love where I'm at right now, but I've got a lot of other things I like to do too. I'm very fortunate. I have a beach house that I haven't seen for so long. I think I can still find it, but it's someplace I want to spend some time, more time with my grandson. I want to hang out with him a little bit before he gets to the point he's like, I don't want to hang out with you anymore. He's 12, so I figure I got a couple years before he's like, quit bugging me, Grandpa. So yeah, I got a lot of things that I kind of want to do. It's nice for me that I actually have options. I got a university here that's saying, if you want to come back and coach, we're glad to have you back. Winning a championship is incredible and special, but it was never something that was missing from my life. I can tell you that. It wasn't something like, before I retire, I have to win a championship. That was never on my mind.
Even if it would have been a loss, it wouldn't have changed who Crutchfield is.
It was never a void in his life. You know, he doesn't wake up now and his life is different.
Winning a championship obviously is a little bit more of a euphoric type situation than any game, but you know, coaching has basically been my life. You know, I've been doing it since I was 22 years old. There's been so many times that I've, you know, been really, really happy and a little bit emotional about things, and not just when we won big games. Sometimes, you know, when I see guys doing really well and how happy they are, then I feel like that's something that's, you know, that bleeds over to me. It makes me happy when I see a player that is so happy that they're almost emotional about it. And I've seen that with these guys. And that kind of makes me more emotional when I see it from them.
He told me last year after the Natty, he told me that he had a guy very similar to me at West Lib, like a big 6'10" kid who never really got to play too much his first couple years, trying to figure out the system. And then his last year at West Lib, led the country in blocks, was an All-American. I got to get this kid's name too. I don't remember it. And I was like, I can do that. And I've been waiting to do it. He gave me the confidence to ball out and have a great senior year. I don't need to transfer. I want to stay here. I want to play here for Crutch. And I got to do it, and I made the most of it.
I kind of came here knowing that he was a great coach. Having the highest winning percentage of any coach in any division is kind of, you can't get anything better than that, honestly. And I knew it was going to be a challenge coming here to make an impact early on, but I kind of like to take on that challenge and just that mentality. I have a new mentality on how I play basketball, thanks to him.
On the court, he's definitely taught me that I had a different level of intensity. I didn't think I was going to be able to press full court the whole time. So I was really struggling, and Coach Crutch definitely motivated me. That just kind of brought me to a different level, a different mindset as a person and as a basketball player.
Being around a competitor like that kind of changes your attitude towards maybe doing something well in your career path, or just as a person, just being a winner and a competitor. It's just what he does. If it's basketball, if it's pickleball, if it's tennis, if it's anything really. So, love the guy, and I'm glad that I'm playing under him. So it's a blessing to be here.
You know, I see kids from my home high school coming here to school. So it's kind of now on the map. You know, people know Nova Southeastern a little bit more than they used to.
It's something that needs to be said and needs to be known, you know, how much knowledge and how much value he puts into the game, passion he has.
You know, he's going to go down as one of the greatest coaches to ever do it, which is crazy to me because he's such a humble guy, and I don't think he realizes what he's done just yet until he gets, you know, recognized as a Hall of Fame coach. But, you know, he's just the most genuine person.
Crutch is an awesome guy as far as family guy, just loves his circle. And I've realized, you know, it makes me appreciate him and respect him that much more.
You know, he gave me a chance when not many schools did. And not only did he believe in me, he set me up for, you know, my future with coaching. So he'll always, you know, have a big spot in my heart. So glad to be able to play for him and glad to be able to coach alongside of him.
It's hard to explain. I think sometimes you take for granted being in the room with him. I've realized that Coach is a very genuine guy, and he does everything with a genuine intent. He does it because he loves the game. He does it because he loves the coach. He loves to get people better. He is more than just a basketball coach.